This morning, June 16th, at approximately 11:02 a.m., Macomb County Sheriff deputies were dispatched to Mann Street in Harrison Township for a missing toddler, 2 years of age. At approximately 11:29 a.m., the toddler was found in the Clinton River by a neighbor who had physically been in the water and searching the water for the missing toddler. The toddler was brought to shore and life-saving measures began. Due to the time-sensitive and urgent nature of the incident, the Macomb County Sheriff deputies transported the toddler to an area hospital while continuing and performing life-saving efforts in the backseat of a patrol vehicle. Despite the efforts of the Macomb County Sheriff's Office, deputies, personnel, and medical professionals, Maxwell Anderson, 2 years of age, was pronounced deceased at the hospital. This is a tragic incident, and our thoughts and prayers go out to the family and friends of Maxwell during this difficult time. The investigation for the Sheriff's Office is continuing, and we'll have more information as it continues. I'll take any questions. Take over to McLaren in Mount Clemens.
So 30 minutes transpired. I had been told anecdotally your dad or somebody may have gone out on a jet ski. Was he in a certain depth of water? How far from the shore? Can you clarify?
Yeah, I don't have all the specifics, but I do know that family members were in and around the water, and at some point we did hear that somebody was on a jet ski searching the water. But we do know that a neighbor was in the water, I want to say right around like maybe waist deep, and was able to locate the toddler at that time.
Tell us just about the efforts that went into trying to find what the sails were like.
You know, the Sheriff's Office, we deployed, we threw everything in our toolbox at this. We had canines out, we had multiple personnel and deputies, and it's unfortunate that we end up with this situation where we're at.
I don't know the geography real well, but I'm guessing where the house is positioned, is the Clinton River what runs right behind their home, or how far has it been gone away or what?
You know, from what just preliminary we're looking at, maybe approximately 50 feet or so, give or take, from the residence. It appears there might be some type of a fence there, maybe like a makeshift fence with some wiring, and it seems that the child may have gone through that fence and over into the river. Our detectives are currently looking into the matter. My understanding is that possibly maybe some video surveillance will be taken.
You said because of the floating community earlier, you told me there has been quite a few incidents in this neighborhood. Is there, I know obviously this is a tragic moment for you and the community as well, but is there anything that you, as a law enforcement, will be looking into how to prevent this from happening in the future?
You know, having children or toddlers, you know, one would know that, you know, 1 second they're there, and the next second you turn around, they're not there. And that's what this incident appears to be, that the toddler had gotten. Yes, water is always, you know, a dangerous aspect of you know, the boating community and trying to remain safe. This situation is just a little different where the child had wandered off and wandered in the water. But, you know, you do see it across you know, news outlets and information from police agencies that, you know, drownings do occur, and we always have that push to remain safe, wear life jackets. Unfortunately, this situation was just a little different. This was at a residence. There is water behind the residence, and it's one of those where the toddler had gotten into the water and, you know, not seen by family and friends.
Could you talk about the deputies who were performing these life-saving measures in the back of the patrol vehicle and rushing this toddler to the hospital, and sadly finding out that the boy didn't make it? Just can you walk us through the emotions, the emotional toll perhaps the deputy would have taken, and you know, how long was that deputy served for?
Yeah, so I can tell you that, you know, emotions in this type of situation run high. You know, the deputies that were involved in that situation are here behind this glass sitting on the other end. They are definitely distraught. This is not something that, you know, you come to work to, you know, that you know, this is not what you want to see your day finish at, that you responded to this type of situation. But we're giving them all the support we can to make sure that everybody's okay. There's multiple persons in this situation that are distraught, including you have a family who's distraught. You have, you know, deputies who respond to this incident were able to look at this situation. I can tell you that we had a sergeant that was operating the vehicle. It's my understanding that the mother of the child was in the passenger seat. We had 2 of our officers performing life-saving efforts. They did everything they could to resolve this in a positive manner, and unfortunately, we were not able to.
Were you able to save the child from being compromised? I'm asking out of my own ignorance for life-saving efforts being administered to maybe somebody perhaps who was not responsive when found.
Yeah, I don't have all the specifics on the life-saving measures. We will have further information as the investigation continues, but I can tell you that, talking to the officers here behind these walls, they're pretty distraught, and it's not an easy situation. I can tell you, they work really hard.
But you can't say specifically if he was responsive when they found him.
Yeah, I don't have those specifics.
I know your investigation has to continue. What are the next steps for your side of things?
Is to unfortunately finalize this investigation. We don't believe there's any foul play, but we are going through our protocols.
So how far from the house downriver was it between the house and where they found it?
I want to say give or take, just kind of like an eye view and talking to some of the investigators, maybe 50 feet or so. Don't quote me on that, but we'll have accurate measurements as the investigation continues.
And I'm sorry, you may have already said this. You didn't say approximately how deep the water was.
Yeah, I want to say it was approximately 5 feet, give or take. Depending on the spots of the water there. I know the neighbor was in there right around maybe midsection, waist level, deep when he located the child.
And I apologize for the asking this specifically, 50 feet out or out 5 feet and 50 feet down? Do you understand?
I believe, from my understanding, from what I gathered from investigators, was that the residence to the water, to the seawall, was about 50 feet approximately.
Okay, so he was behind his home.
He was well. One would assume until we look at the video surveillance that he walked away from the home and went into the water.
Okay.
Is he the only child?
I don't have those specifics.
How did the neighbors find him?
It seems like the neighbor was searching in the water. I don't have the information from his interview yet, but from what I gathered is that he was able to locate the child on the floor of the residence. The child had sunken down to the ground.
At 11 o'clock, when you guys got the call about a missing toddler, could you talk me through some of the efforts that went into finding the toddler?
Yeah, we had deployed all of our resources, deputies. At one point, we asked for a canine, which responded from the city of Roseville, and was able to track in and around the area, kind of take us towards that area.
Is it safe to say that if you had found the toddler would still be missing?
Yeah, I mean, we made every effort to make sure that we located the child.
Do we know who was kind of responsible for the child at the time when he snuck out?
I don't have those specifics yet.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Anything else?